Bongani, which means hello in my language. My name is Bongani. Just had to come and do this interview because team is just strong-armed me into doing it. But actually, I thought it would be good for me to share my experience so far of being in Life Church. So in 2001, when I left my home country, Zimbabwe, my father just passed away, and I had to just take care of my mother and my sisters who were still going to school. It was a very difficult time, and managed to just navigate that part of the journey in my life, mostly because my mother was a woman who was really strong in her faith, and I think she prayed almost every minute of her life to just make sure that I was blessed, which I believe I am. I decided to move to the neighboring country, Botswana. And then with the little money that I had, just basically traveled and started looking for a job. And then as the days went by, because I was using all the money that I had to travel back and forth, and then at one point I was left with about 50 pula, which is an equivalent of about 10 New Zealand dollars. The month end was coming fast, where I had to pay the bills back home, but also still make sure that my sisters were going to school. It was a bit difficult to come across a job, and eventually it just so happened that I did find a job maybe with about 2 weeks to go before month end, and then through prayer and just God providing for me. And at that point I didn't understand why it was happening to me, but I think it just was God's way of just teaching me to be stronger and knowing that whatever I have, I'm actually blessed far beyond measure. I lived in Botswana for about 3.5 years before I moved to Bermuda. And then I worked in Bermuda for 2.5 years, and then I left and I worked in London for a year. And then I went back to Bermuda, where I spent nearly 9 years working. At that point, I felt I wasn't growing up as a person. And also my partner Jackie, we had a daughter. So we felt New Zealand would probably offer us an opportunity for growth, and also a good environment for our daughter to grow up in. And I think every Sunday morning when she comes and does a dance at Life Church is a good testament of how she settled and how she really enjoys it. And that kind of assures me that maybe that was the right choice to make for us to come here. But just being in New Zealand for nearly 2 years, we found Life Church when we were just looking for a home where we could go every Sunday, worship, make friends. And one of my friends that I'd gone to school with, he invited me over to come to Life Church, which is not very far from where I live. And from that very first day, it was a good experience. We felt very welcomed. The pastor campus, Julia, is such an amazing person, and I thought maybe she should find it very difficult to remember my name, but she does remember everybody's name, and she just makes you feel at home, which is great. And I've made friends as well there. What I particularly enjoy, and what my daughter particularly enjoy, is just the freedom of expression. When we get to church, the music is a really great part of the ministry, because it just sets me up and we just have fun. But also the sermons are really good, and the service just kind of flows, and you just don't feel kind of boxed in or bored. So it's really great. The invitation to come to Life Church came at a point in my life, because sometimes, as much as you're a Christian, there's always times when you don't stay on the right path, and you always need a constant reminder, somebody also to just keep that faith going. As coming to Life Church, particularly myself, it couldn't be at a better time in my life. It's probably when I just needed that reminder about God. I've enjoyed my experience at Life Church quite immensely so far, and especially the life groups, they've got like amazing food, so it's definitely something that I'll want to continue doing, and look forward to seeing everyone at church on Sunday.